Okay, problem 22. We have to solve the quadratic equation by
factoring
graphing
and by factoring. So solve using quadratic formula and by factoring.
So which one should we do first?
Quadratic.
Now I will tell you right now, this is kind of a mistake. I should have written y equals or f of x equals something
Yeah,
like
well I got that because I still did
You figured out that part. So
that
that's
because
good.
I looked at the other one.
So you want to do graphing first?
Yeah.
Okay. So for graphing, first thing you want to do is
like one of those places. It definitely is in one of those places.
x equals negative b over 2a. Oh, by the
Is
way,
that the answer?
By the way, what's a, b, and c?
A is 1, B is 7, C is 12.
Oh, negative. Yeah.
Okay. Yep, because it's
So
like
negative
1,
7.
7, and 12. All right.
So negative 7 over 2.
So this is negative 7 over 2 times 1, which is 2. So negative 3.5.
That's where I'm stuck.
Okay. So that tells us this.
I'm listening because I'm.
You make a table of values, x and y. And we'll put here
Wow, that was really nice.
negative 3.5.
Wait, what?
And then we'll just count by 1. So negative 3 is close by, negative 2, negative 1, and maybe like negative 4, negative 5, something like that.
See, that's the part I don't get, how to do this.
Well, you understand how we got negative 3.5,
Yeah,
right?
but yeah.
So then you just pick numbers below it and above it.
It has nothing to do with the formula.
No, this tells you what to put in the middle, and then you're just choosing. Now you get a calculator probably, would be a good way to do it, and you plug these values in right here into the calculator using this function. And you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values.
So you put negative 1.
So now we've got all of the outputs here. So we're ready to graph it. Okay?
That's not ink, that's sign. You're always. Did you order it?
And then we can graph it.
Do you ever shop around here?
Negative 1, 6 would be like about right there. Negative 2, 2 is like right here.
What's your favorite store?
Negative 3, 3 is like right there. Negative 3.5, negative 0.25 is like just below.
Foot Locker?
Right? Then I can do negative 4 zeros like right. Oops. Like right there. Negative 5, 2 is right here. Negative 6, 6, something like that, right? And then I can draw a graph of this. And then I've got my graph. Now, let's take a look at some of the parts. This here is the vertex, which is negative 3.5, negative 0.25. You've got an x-intercept, which is negative 3, 0. You also have negative 4, 0, which is the other x-intercept. Now there's no y-intercept listed. The only way to get a y-intercept is so I'll just put 0. If x is 0, the output is 12. Because you have 0 squared plus 7 times 0. Basically, if x is 0, this goes away, and the only thing left is 12. So, this would be something like about there, where the y-intercept is. And we can kind of complete that. So if you, we can label that here the y-intercept. Final one, solving problem 22 by the quadratic formula. So we already
What's the
know
square
A,
root
B,
of-
and C. 1, 7, and 12. And so our formula is the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. The opposite of b, so the opposite of 7 is negative 7, plus or minus b squared. Now b is 7, so b squared is going to be 49, minus, and now we can do some math here, 4 times a times c. That's 4 times 1 times 12. 4 times 1 times 12 is 48. Divided by 2 times a, or 2 times 1, which is just 2. So I have x equals negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 49 minus 48 is 1. What's the square root of 1?
1.
1. So I know that the answer is negative 7 plus or minus 1, then divided by 2. And what I tend to do is, at this point, draw little arrows. So negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6. Negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. This gives you negative 4. This gives you negative 3. Those are the same ones. Those are our same roots that we got using the other methods. So this is kind of cool. It shows up again.
That's how you know you're right.
That's exactly.
Hello, class.
well-
Welcome to factoring for number 22.
Right. We already did the graphical method. So now for factoring method, what I look at is, well, what are the factors of this last term? The factors are 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Those are all the factor pairs. Now, I need to figure out which of these factor pairs has a sum of 7.
3 times 3
3
and
times,
4.
exactly. So, I know that this is how I'm going to set up my binomials, my factoring. And from like the problems up above, at this stage you know that x could be, like using the zero product rule, negative 3 and negative 4. Notice these are also the x-intercepts, right, from the graphing.
Right.
So these are called roots. Also, x-intercepts. I'm going to put a smiley face in this one.
Thanks.
Okay.